Hey, Waterway Church, good morning. It is Wednesday, March 20th. Happy birthday, Melanie. Hey, I hope you guys are all having a good day. I'm coming to you today from the connection table here in our lobby at the Waterway Church. And some of you noticed just this weekend we got new mailboxes. Now, they are not yet in the place where they're going to be. Eventually, they're going to live right here where this coat rack is. But we're not going to do all that construction and moving coat racks around until it gets a little bit warmer outside. But there's a lot of stuff happening here, and I wanted to just give you a heads up over a couple things happening the next couple weeks here as we get ready for Easter. So kind of just an extended announcement here that I wanted to come to you with on Wednesday. So coming up next week, so the week before Easter, Thursday, March 28th at 7 o'clock, we're going to have a Maundy Thursday service here. I know I had mentioned, I think last week that it was at 6:30, but that service is at 7 o'clock. Maundy is short for mandatum, which is Latin for a mandate, which comes from Jesus' mandate at the Last Supper for his disciples to remember his death until he returns. So we get together here at Waterway on Maundy Thursday for a light meal, communion, foot washing, and a time of sharing testimonies. This is an important service, especially for church members to attend. I hope you'll all come out, but all Christians are invited. Then on Good Friday, March 29th, I'll be preaching at Lower Skipack Church as one of 7 preachers doing a Last Words of Christ worship service. That service is at 6 o'clock p.m. at Lower Skipack Church. Lower Skipack is an AMEC church in Collegeville, a little bit over an hour away from Oxford. You all are invited for that worship service and a fellowship time afterward if you'd like to travel and have a little bit more of kind of a classic Good Friday service. But for those of you who'd like to stay closer to home, Mount Vernon Christian Church on Route 472, just across the lake, is having a Good Friday service at 6:30 with a time of worship and a communion celebration. And so Pastor Tony at Mount Vernon says you all are invited on Good Friday at 6:30 if you'd like to stay closer to Oxford. And then finally, Easter Sunday, March 31st, we'll have kind of a normal service of events that day. Sunday school at 9:30 and then our worship service at 10:30. We expect a pretty big crowd, so be bold and introduce yourself. If there's somebody you don't know, tell them your name and ask them theirs, even if you've asked their name before. How about if Palm Sunday and Easter this year, we can all just have maybe some official don't be afraid to ask my name Sundays, where we can just give extra grace to each other and make sure that we know who we're worshiping with. Also, we have our full welcome team kind of functioning at this point. So we have doormen and greeters, ushers, and people here at the connection table. And I hope all of you, though, are kind of on the lookout for people to say hello to. Now, on the topic of greeters and ushers and connection table people, I think we need to do a little bit better in-house here with our own crowd control. All of you, make sure that if your friend is greeting at the door or an usher or working here at the connection table, make sure that this doesn't just become a place where you hang out, because if you're here in the way, then folks who need these services can't get there. So just kind of a heads up. And when you are entering and leaving the sanctuary, this is something that we've gotten a little bit poor at, I think, over the last year or two. Make sure that your conversations are not happening in a big group right inside the door. It seems like we see our friends and we get excited, we want to talk, and that's awesome. But if you are making a big crowd right inside one of the doors, it makes it awkward for people to get around. So be on the lookout for that, church. And then one last thing here on this Wednesday. On April 14th, that's 2 Sundays after Easter, remember that we'll have a volunteer fair here in our fellowship hall after our worship service on that Sunday. A lot of you are helping out and serving in one way or another, but the purpose of our volunteer fair is for all of our ministry teams to be available for all of you to talk and connect with, and maybe find a way for you to plug in if you're not already serving or helping out in some way here at the church. We'd love to have everybody putting their spiritual gifts to work. So we'll have some snacks and refreshments, and I can't wait to see you then on April 14th at that volunteer fair right after our worship service. So I hope you are having a blessed day, and I pray that you'll keep pressing on, keep being the church, go serve somebody who needs it, and keep loving the Lord and your neighbor. All right, we'll see you at church. Bye.